You know, when we have deacon selection, I met with our deacon selection committee, and I said, you know, when you meet with new deacons, I said, the most important thing to me is you ask that person, are you a tither? Because I don't want to have deacons that are thieves, that are robbing God, that don't trust God enough, that love money more than they love God. I don't want that. That's a big, big sin in my mind. And so we want to ask people, are you a tither? You're coming to be a deacon. That's a really important position. Are you honoring God with your wealth? And maybe you're here and you say, well, Jeff, I'm not a tither. And you know why I'm not a tither? You know why I don't honor God with my wealth? Is because I can't afford it. Let me tell you something. You can't afford not to. Because you don't want to be cursed with the curse, the whole nation of you. You desperately, and I desperately need the blessing of God on my finances, on your finances. And God says, honor me, and I will honor you, and I'll open up the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing. Would you just trust me? Would you test me? Would you believe me? I love what George Burns had to say. George Burns, the entertainer. He said this, very astute. He said, it is easier to make a paying audience laugh than a non-paying audience. He said a paying audience, they get all dressed up. They go to the show. They've paid their money. They bought those tickets. They're sitting at that table for this dinner party engagement where George Burns would speak, you know, at the big things in Las Vegas and stuff that he would do. And he said they want to laugh because they've paid to laugh. He said when you entertain people that haven't paid any money, they're critical. They complain, they whine, they gripe. This joke's not funny enough. This food wasn't good enough. Everything is nyeh, 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 nyeh. Why? They don't have any skin in the game. The critical folks in a church are the thieves. You say, how do you know that? Do you remember in the New Testament when Mary brought the alabaster box and broke it over Jesus? Judas got upset about that. Why was that not sold and the money given to the poor? And John tells us he said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. And he held the money bag, and he knew if that had gotten into the treasury that he could have pilfered from that. The thieves complain. The robbers complain when things aren't to their liking. And those who give are generous and joyful and excited. Hey, listen, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Dollars and cents. The Lord says, listen. Don't let money and wealth and riches and materialism, don't let it consume you. Don't let it deceive you. Don't let it master you. Let me be your master, and I will see you all the way through.